Ideas regarding the various kinds of orchids that are available. So as we walk around the exhibits here, we'll single out some of these specific orchids and explain a little bit about them and why you should get interested in orchids if possible. From Lompoc. This is the first time the Lompoc group has exhibited in our local show, and we're very happy to have them with us. But on the right, way at the top, some beautiful bright cattleyas. I think that most women will recognize this as the flower given to them for their senior prom. But as you can see, there are a lot of other orchids as well. A few other cattleyas immediately in front, going down the list to dendrobiums and cymbidiums. Swinging to the left again, a very large dendrobium in the center, and a display of a band uniform with cymbidiums in the rear, phalaenopsis, and a miltoniopsis here in the front. All submitted by members of that Orchid Society. All cymbidiums, although there is a phalaenopsis in there, the grower is one of cymbidiums only. In the right rear, upper right-hand corner, is the cymbidium that was voted the most outstanding cymbidium in the show. This is a perpetual award given for that particular genera. A wide variety of colors, as you can see, but again, this is one of the commercial exhibits. Another exhibit, this time showing the reserve grand champion of the show, a very large dendrobium. You don't very often see them this particular size grown this well, so it's a real treat to see this. I'm also told that this is a dendrobium blooming for the first time. It's a baby. Can hardly wait for that to grow up to see what it will be like as an adult. Immediately in front of it, here in the green, is another species, Bonitia speciosa, flanked by a nobile type dendrobium. And then swinging on over here till finally at the end of the table some paphiopedilums, and immediately above it is a Sologeny. Sologeny being from the low highlands of the Himalayan mountains. The dendrobium here type originated in Australia, so you can see that they are truly represented by all points of the globe. To an exhibit of one of our vendors from the Pasadena area. The vendor specializes in phalaenopsis, but these are quite unlike most of the phalaenopsis you've seen in recent years, and represents the newer line of breeding, or the new inn with respect to phalaenopsis. Of particular interest, in the center of the display is a large glass, or maybe I should say crystal cup, showing what our celebrity judges thought was the finest orchid in the show. The celebrity judges are people that you've heard on the radio and seen on local television, and they were brought in to indicate what they thought was the best orchid, and this is their choice. Certainly no one can contest the color, the variety of color in a single flower that you see in this splash petal cattleya. Okay, what do we need to cover that we haven't? Yeah, another one of our society exhibits, that is an exhibit put in by a local orchid society, this time the Five Cities Orchid Society, showing in front of this cart here almost a species. That is, this is cattleya, very much like what it would appear in nature. Although it is a generation removed from being a species, it is grown to absolute perfection, and as you can see, is a very colorful thing to see. Immediately in front of it are smaller cattleya hybrids, followed by, on the left here, a miniature type cymbidium. This is a vanda from Southeast Asia, a small cymbidium again. Large cymbidium here in the center with a dendrobium right behind it, a bright yellowish orange color. Some more cattleyas, dendrobiums, cymbidiums, and so forth, clear back here. Up above in the carriage itself, very, very fine flower. That is an oncidium, again by the very different phalaenopsis, cattleyas, and so forth, so that you can see, even within the same families, many, many, many variations. And I neglected to indicate, getting back to our cattleya here, that this was awarded the best of division. That is the best cattleya in the show. Okay, showing the other side of the exhibit now. Right down in front, Dendrobium kingianum, very small flower from Australia, followed immediately to its right by an Ascocenda, which is a hybrid between a Vanda and an Ascrocentum. Pardon the emphasis, but sometimes I have trouble saying those words. And as you can see, very pleasant pinkish color, followed by Phalaenopsis, a very bright yellow cattleya. You don't see them in those shades too often. Ascocenda immediately above it, hanging from the cart. Going back with some more Ascocendas until we come to the rear wheel here, which has a large miniature Cymbidium in the area. Again, all of these plants donated for this show by members of the Five Cities Orchid Society, so that you can see by attending their meetings, you're exposed to people who grow a very wide variety of orchid plants. Okay, another very small exhibit, this time put in by one of our commercial vendors, showing a very different kind of orchid. This from the Central American, Northern, South America country. This one called the Masdevallia. It grows in very, very high altitudes of the Andes Mountains, sometimes as high as 13,000 feet in elevation. But you got to remember, 13,000 feet elevation in the Andes provides a perpetual spring climate. That is, as you know, the sun crosses the equator twice, and so doing at high altitudes, you get a perpetual spring here. This division winner also for the pleurothalids, which includes the Masdevallia here in this area. You actually need to have a microscope to see some of the various small, tiny flowers that come from the plants on the tree there. Okay, some close-up of some of the very, very small flowers on the Pleurothalid alliance on the tree here. You need to get up close to see them. Some of them are extremely fragrant, but again, all orchids, all appealing to the different tastes of various people. Orchids are for everyone.